Firstly and foremost, happy Thirsty Thursday. Hopefully, y'all are doing great and geared up for a brand new episode. And it's time for a new vlog. Welcome back if you're returning from yesterday or maybe the day before, last week, or if you are a new viewer and randomly clicked on this video. Oh boy, you are in for a conglomeration of a rant. Of some some GP talking, RuneScape money making, some PvP talking, and also really my opinion about like the future of PKing on OSRS in general. If you can do me a big favor and if you enjoyed today's episode, definitely smash the like button. If you want me to cover a certain subject, you can always let me know down below in the description. Firstly, straight off the bat, I did make a new PKing video on the main channel today. If you want to follow me on social media, that link is down below in the description as well. Same with my Discord information as well, too. I'm actually going to be doing a live stream, later this afternoon on Twitch TV/NightmareRH and also on my main YouTube channel, NightmareRH. I upload videos on this channel Monday through Saturday, so here we go. So, blood runes, they will make you a lot of GP. A lot of GP in general. 63,000 blood runes so far I have crafted. Obviously, I've made a total now 18.5 millish from rune crafting. You want to know what? Yeah, I might as well go ahead and sell these things right here. 18.8 mil I've made so far from rune crafting as a whole. That is Guardians of the Rift. That is also doing some Astral runes too. So, I mean, all in all, my rune crafting money making from level, I want to say level 60, 66 of where I started training it, all the way now to level 86. So you're talking about 20 levels. Obviously, that's a mere sliver of the way to 99. Got about what, like 9.3, 9.4 million XP until I hit 99. So I definitely have a lot of XP to go, and I also have a lot of money making to go too. I did upload a new video on my main channel, like I said. I ended up using the Void Waker once again. That was like the third time that I used the Void Waker in this year's episodes of PKing videos. I really got to get away from going to the Grand Exchange because the Grand Exchange is, it doesn't do me any good. And the reason being is because, well, everyone at the friggin' Grand Exchange is just, very much more elevated with, RuneScape, experience in the PKing realm. Okay? I am definitely not, like, the best PKer on this game, but I can go ahead and tell you that I am definitely better than probably people that have never PK'd before, but at the same time, it feels like the only people that are actually going into PvP worlds are people that are doing it full-time for, like, GP. And that's kind of really something I want to talk about in today's episode is PKing for GP. So, obviously me, I've always been a entertainer PKer. I've never done PKing for legitimately money making. If anything, it is a money losing business for me. If you go ahead and think of your RuneScape bank kind of like as a theoretical company in a way, well, I'm taking a big L on anything that I do in the wild, anything that I do when it comes to PKing. I'm taking a friggin' loss. Like, I go into a PvP world, I make a PKing video, it's the cost of doing business for making that PKing video. Obviously, I'm not losing, you know, the main amount of GP, but I mean, hey, if I lose 200k there, 300k there, 500k there, it adds up. It really does. And especially when your main source of GP is really around doing skilling, you're not really like making that tremendous amount of like GP back per se. But there are people on this game, along with content creators too, streamers as well. Content creator and a streamer, You're basically the same damn thing, in my opinion. I mean, I am a content creator and I'm also a streamer. You literally, streaming is just live content. Let me just go ahead and say that. It falls under the same friggin' category. But overall, I mean, the thing about it is that you could make a tremendous amount of GP from PKing. And there were times on this game where you were restricted to the amount of GP that you were actually allowed to do. I thought that I had this video pulled up here, but I guess something friggin' happened to my web browser. Okay, web browser. Hold on one second. Once upon a time, hold on. Trade limit. Now I gotta find this friggin' video again. Oh, come on, man. Trade limit. Come on. You know, I literally just had this friggin' video up. Oh, here it is. I found it. Okay, never mind. Okay. Free trade in Wild is back. Here we go. I have found this. Oh man, this is definitely a doozy from many, many years ago. Hold on. There we go. Okay, so once upon a time, if you were a full-time PKer, your GP money-making was significantly restricted. And what do I mean by that? Well, if you were on RuneScape 2 from 2008 all the way up to friggin' 2011 January, you had to deal with this crazy thing called the trade limit. What is the trade limit? Well, Jagex wanted to really battle 15 years ago, January 14, 2011. The wilderness and free trade voting's now closed. So basically, Jagex offered a vote to remove a trade limit. And this also went very much with, in the wild. So Jagex put on a trade limit, I believe it was, January of, 2008. So you're talking January 2009, 2010, 2011, 3 years. So if you wanted, keep the number simple. If you wanted to sell me a blood rune for, let's say a blood rune is 100 GP, you were only allowed to sell me the blood rune for 90 GP or 110 GP. Hiccups. So you were only allowed to go 10% in either direction. Water cheers. That seems pretty crazy, right? It definitely was crazy. It utterly irritated a lot of people. A lot of items became junk items. And why did Jagex do this? Well, Jagex did it to basically combat real-world trading. Ultimately, Jagex ended up losing that battle because real-world trading still happens to this day. But Jagex wanted people to very much not like trade items significantly above what they were worth and stuff. They're also kind of combating, I want to say, price manipulation. A lot of people on the sidelines were obviously saying, hey, Jagex did this on purpose to really make people use the Grand Exchange. Okay, maybe that's the case. Maybe it's not. Who really knows? But when the trade limit basically went away in January 2011, you saw people making a tremendous amount more of GP in the wild. Now, let's go ahead and say that if you PK'd a Armadale Godsword in the wild, you did not get that Armadale Godsword. You got a token in the wild, and you could then use that token to redeem rewards. And whatever that token may be for rewards, it could be a couple mil, but you're not gonna legitimately PK a friggin' Armadale Godsword that back then it was like 60, 70 mil. It just, those days were over. And Jagex put a hard stance on this, and then they removed the trade limit, and the amount of money that PKers were making were like, you're talking, if you were a full-time PKer when Bounty Hunter was around and a trade limit was around, you basically had a cap of how much GP you could make. I had a lot of friends that were full-time PKers back then, and some of them were making a couple million GP an hour. Now, back in 2008, 9, 10, and even before the trade limit went away, making like 2-3 mil an hour, that is a lot of GP. A lot of GP. I mean, is it gambling in a way? Not necessarily. I mean, you're gambling in theory, but you're kind of fighting for your life to gamble, like, in that notion, if you really know what I mean. Okay, it's a little different if you really think about it. But overall, I mean, you could make a tremendous amount of GP once that trade limit went away. And if you are a good PKer on OSRS, you could make a lot of GP too. I mean, it's really no shocker. I did die in today's episode. The person that literally whooped my ass because they were a dart-throwing fart knocker, they pretty much made probably around 500K from my body in a matter of a couple minutes. That's really not terrible. Now, you could very much get lucky and maybe get a big ticket item of like, if you smited me, maybe you ended up getting a Void Waker, which was like 30-something mil. How often does a big ticket item really come out of like PKing? Probably not very often. I remember a lot of my friends back in 2011 when the trade limit went away, they did smite a lot of weapons right away because people kind of really forgot to put on their Protect from Prayer. So therefore, people were making a lot of GP very quickly, but then it kind of, subsided because people were like, okay, I gotta put on my Protect, item and stuff. Obviously now it's very different. But you could make a tremendous amount of GP. It just is that if you do PKing full time, you're really good at it or you're really not. There's really no more like newbie PKers. It really is like everyone that does it like full time or like professionally, I should say. It's not like, hey, we're just gonna have like a grand old time and have some have like a cup of coffee together, right? We're gonna see what happens. It's definitely not like 2004scape style PKing. It's definitely not like 2008, 2009, or 10 PKing out there. It's very, very different. But otherwise, the amount of people that I've known over the years on this game, which it blows my mind. A group of my friends and me, we were talking about this, how it's been like years and years since, we've been on this game. It really is just crazy when you actually go ahead and think about it. But overall, PKing is really for people that do it like full time, and the amount of GP that you can make, it's pretty damn good. Now, if I were to gather up a bunch of like, let's say newbie PKers, and we all were pretty much like kind of going head to head in a way, how much GP do you think I can make like in a single hour? I've actually done that before. I've actually done a 24-hour live stream on Twitch where I legitimately fought like you all in like a newbie, atmosphere, come fight Nightmare RH. I remember a couple hours I ended up making like over a mil, and this was back in like friggin' 2017 and 18, which is even crazy. That's almost like 10 years ago. How crazy is that? Yeah, come fight Nightmare RH. And I remember making like a couple mil for like an hour. And then I ended up like losing some GP. So I definitely know that among like the newbie atmosphere, I'm definitely not like that full blown of a newbie. Let me just say that, okay? I'm not like that full blown of a newbie, but my PKing skills definitely resonate with like the old-fashioned 2004, 5, 6, and 7 kind of like PKing mentality. But otherwise, let me know down below in some comments if you have done PKing for like GP. It is definitely something I've never really done before. It's something that I definitely don't want to get into. I'd rather just do entertaining, but I gotta go ahead and find some people on the same playing field as this human being over here. Otherwise, I'll probably see some of you all during the live stream today. Definitely stay tuned for more live streams in general. Otherwise, I love each and every single one of you all, and I will catch you very soon, and later.